Here we go. All right. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Um, okay, like I said, we're gonna do this for 4 minutes. And yeah, mute yourself and make sure to actually join the chant. The idea here is to yeah, communicate your sound, connect with that. All right, you all, enjoy.
Oh, we can't hear it when you mute, Amy.
everybody just a couple more breaths here just to transition gently. You're ready. Wake up or open your eyes. Come on back. Yeah, just maybe curious how what that experience was. Maybe just a couple words from some of you.
That vibration that you feel, is very healing. There's something very similar in Qigong when you do Qigong exercises that when you vibrate your lungs like that, it's actually vibrating away illness and negative energy. So yeah, it feels great.
Hmm. Yeah, wow. Thanks, Peg, for sharing that, making that connection with Qigong. Yeah, the frequency of that was particular to the root chakra.
Mm.
So it was around, yeah, connecting with the root chakra, getting rid of fear, yeah, negative energy. All right, we can share more when we're going to actually begin with, oh, Marcia, were you going to say something?
I was just agreeing with Peg. I could feel the vibration,
Uh-huh.
and it reminded me of when I put my hand on my cat when he purrs,
Hmm.
and it was like, oh, it's very warm and healing feeling
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, I felt it like in my heart so strongly.
in the chest.
In the chest, yeah. All right, we're going to begin tonight with sharing. So we're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. And we want to give you all a chance to just connect around what your experience was this past month. And we're going to ask two particular questions. One, just what did you do? What activities did you do? How did you connect or engage the throat chakra? And what was your experience as you did that? So we're going to give you about 10 minutes here, and you're in pairs. There is one group of three, and yeah, we'll see you back here in 10 minutes. So enjoy. This. Yeah. So Granny Jay, where do you want to
Okay.
start? Yeah.
So what should we know about chakra 5? Its name is Vishuddha, which means purification. Now, purification is referring to purifying your subtle body, the nadia, the sushumna, your auric bodies, your subtle bodies. And so that's what the main function of this chakra is, that keeps them purified. So the Yeah, so that's what the frequencies are doing. Some of them are actually purification frequencies that we're using. The fifth chakra is located here in your throat. It's associated with the brachial plexus. Now, if you will recall, your spiritual body operates, okay, operates through the nadia and through the aura and controls your physical body. Okay. And um, and they're able to do that because the vibrations affect the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system releases appropriate hormones for whatever the emotion tone or the feeling that you have. So we're saying that the spiritual body sends a vibration in, affects the autonomic nervous system of that particular plexus, whatever that vibration is. And that then goes from there out to these nadis, where that information is carried out to the rest of the body. Okay. And but it's through the hormones that this is working. Okay. So your mouth is also involved with this, as are your ears, of course, because they're picking up these vibrations. The elements are sound and ether. Now, keep in mind that ether is the fifth state of matter, which scientists are having a hard time accepting as the fifth state because the mathematics of Einstein doesn't quite match the mathematics of this. And so they're having a difficult time with it. Now, ether is like a light, very pure light. It's made up of electronic particles, okay? And it occupies everything. It's what we're made of, essentially. It's what the whole universe is essentially made of. Let's see. Ether is the source of all energy. You have to think of our bodies as an electrical, I'm going to call it transformer. It's about the best thing I can say. It's like electrical transformer. Okay, and yeah, I guess that's probably about all I want to say about that. If you want to hear more about ether and electric bodies, there are stuff on YouTube you can go listen to about ether, or if you want to learn about the electric body, why don't you listen to a YouTube where Sue Martyr, who wrote a book called The Energy Codes, interviews Eileen McCusick, who wrote Electric Body, Electric Health. And that's a really interesting interview. And so since Sue Martyr is into chakras and energy, Eileen McCusick is into energy and sound healing. So the two sort of match up in an interesting way. Okay, so back to my notes here. So we are concentrated on sound in this particular chakra. And you could probably tell that from the beginning, because in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was made flesh. Genesis 1:1, the Word, okay, was made flesh. So that says that the Word caused light beings, that's us, to be formed and infleshed and enabled to self-heal. Now, I don't know if you've ever thought about the importance of the concept of self-healing. You cut your finger and what happens? If you do absolutely nothing, what happens? It seals itself back up. It heals it, doesn't it? Now, that self-healing has to come from something. You know, it's not just the biochemical stuff in your body. There's an energy thing, and the fact that it has that property is absolutely an incredible gift if you stop and reflect on that. Okay, so to evolve and to knowingly inhabit these in-flesh bodies, we have to know something about the spiritual body, because our auras are concentrated on each chakra. And as we said, each chakra has its own little auric sac out there. And when you die, your soul and all of your subtle bodies depart. That's where the silver streak is that runs up in the air. Have any of you ever seen a silver streak when someone died? Yeah, I have. And it's an amazing sight. But our soul and our auric bodies are forever. That means whatever's happening to you in this lifetime is being recorded and stored as vibrations out in your auric field. And your ancestors, you are acting out in some of the ways your ancestors acted out. Usually it's in gifts that you have or gifts you wish you didn't have. You know, like you have a quick temper, for example, might be one thing. Or if you have a great musical ear, you can just sit down and play whatever you hear. Those are out in that auric field, okay? So that's what we're talking about here. It's all vibrations. Amy?
Yeah, so a main task here with the fifth chakra is on communication. And yeah, yeah, communication sound. This is all the stuff we've been working with already. The communication links to the rights related to the chakra of right to speak and to speak authentically. So speaking our truth. For me, you know what, every time I think about this with this fifth chakra, I think of prophecy and the importance of prophecy. This is what we're talking about here. And as a side note, I'm reading Richard Rohr's most recent book, Tears of Things. And oh, wow, you all, it's totally connected to this in terms of what it means to be prophets in this time. And it's like very supportive of our journey here with the journey home. But anyway, so here's something that you can play around with here with this fifth chakra and communicating. Is in times like this, you know, as we know, there's just so much divisiveness and tension, and it's like so polarizing. Practice speaking your truth and communicating the truth, your truth, with different groups of people. Maybe people with whom you share really different opinions with, maybe like-minded people, and really pay attention to your own sound. You know, here, like I'm thinking of Howard Thurman and the sound of the genuine. Part of our exercise here with this fifth chakra is really paying attention to and connecting with our sound of the genuine, the truth, like our own true vibration. This is what this book is that I just wrote. It's all about this, The Queen's Guide to Fidelity. It's coming into tune with your own truth, which is the truth. But playing around with that and just noticing, how does your sound change based on how you're being perceived or what the feeling is that you're getting back from whoever it is that you're communicating with. Use it as a little harmonizing practice, if you will. That feeling that you get back is a signal. It does give you some information about how you're communicating. So even if you're communicating again with like in maybe really tense moments or in difficult situations, if you can like, this is where the playing with harmony is so beautiful. And as musicians, whoever, you know, we kind of know, like, you can be in really tense, difficult, discordant circumstances and still feel harmony. And so just practice, you know, practice what that feels like and what it sounds like. Harmony really expands us and our energetic bodies in joy and happiness. And so we become a healing force, a healing presence ourselves. It's the very thing, Tammy, that we were just talking about. We become the tuning fork, if you will. We become the healing vibes ourselves, even without speaking. We can do that. It's really incredible. Just by having and holding and feeling that vibe. It's really, it's really a miracle. So notice your pitch, the pitch that you use, your voice. Notice the pace that you use, that you speak with. Also, just like nonverbal things too, are also signals of your inner harmony. So eye contact, we've talked about that. Um, you know, even reaching out and touching someone or a smile. Um, just notice what it feels like to be in tune with love, with the vibration of love. We know every sound affects the universe. Oh my gosh, I was downstairs earlier in the basement, and the dogs were running around upstairs, and the sound of their click, click, click was like, oh God, you really start to notice every sound and the impact it has on the universe. And It's really something. So the sound of the robin, the honking of the horn, your notifications on your phone. We're in very noisy times. And I've noticed that it's really hard for me. I like can't take in the noise in the same way that I have in the past because there's so much different levels of noise. And so I think paying attention to what kind of sounds we're bringing into our environment, being really intentional about that, because it all has an impact way beyond our own feeling. It has an impact on the vibration, the frequency of that entire environment. Each chakra has its own frequency. So, as I said, the chanting that we did earlier was really connected with the frequency with the root chakra. So this is really fun to play with and can be really helpful if you're feeling like, there's something with relationships that I'm really stuck with. You can like turn to frequencies that help you with that second chakra. There's just so much available here. We live in such exciting times where there's all this science and awareness of all these different techniques. We have a list of frequencies that are connected with the different chakras as well as different issues that you might be experiencing. And so we're going to send that out to you all to play around with this next month. Yeah, and I think finally I'll just say this, like, remember, go back to those universal laws that we keep turning to, and that law, the number 2, that law of vibration. This is like one of the things we know as far as how the universe works and how it orders itself. Just as Granny J said around creation, our vibration is literally creating. It's creating patterns around which thoughts start to organize and matter starts to organize. Yeah.
Okay, a few more tidbits. So, if you really want to turn on the fifth chakra, deck out in light blue. I'm decked out in light blue tonight because we're doing the fifth chakra, but it is the color, the vibration, the light bouncing off of this light blue is the vibration of the fifth chakra. I want you to recall for a moment prana. Remember, we spent a lot of time about that in the fourth chakra, the life energy force that comes in with every breath and is what gives you life. That's why when you stop breathing and taking in that prana, you don't last very long. Remember that prana is big. It's through sound and communication that we continually create and breathe spirit into this world. This is what keeps it alive and vital. And purification of your nadi and your auric field is a function of this chakra. And it has a double meaning. We need to be aware that the refinement of your vibrations is necessary for penetration into higher levels. So if you want to get into level 6 and level 7, you're going to have to keep raising your vibration. That's what I'm saying. Keep raising your vibration. Okay. We need, let's see, where am I here on my notes? Both purification it's aided by things like what you eat. And so if you want to increase your vibration, eat more fruits, because fruit has the higher vibration than vegetables and then potatoes and meat. You know, meat's down in the first chakra, but this is fruit. So increase your intake of fruits. And watch your substance intake and then how much alcohol you drink. So you want to reduce that back down or water it down somewhat. Okay. Activities, including sound. Okay, let's hear this.
I'm
Yeah,
just,
Even the fruit flavored ones.
uh,
yeah, maybe a mango margarita. Come on, Grady J. Come on.
Woo.
I'm not having any mango margaritas. So, no, no.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There was something else I would say here. Okay, so sound healing uh is medicine. It is the medicine of the spiritual body. You know, we have medicines for the physical body, but vibration is the medicine of your spiritual body. And when you unblock these energies, then you have more energy to run your physical body, and your physical body is happier. Our diseases in our physical body is actually due to blockages in frequencies. That you don't have enough energy, and the body has to choose where it's putting its energy, and it puts it in things like keeping your diaphragm moving and your heart beating, lungs. You know, it puts it in the things that keep you alive, and then you run into the other problems. You don't have enough energy. Okay. So sound healing, meditation. If you do meditation, this is time to do it. And the chanting like we did tonight, that is a very valuable thing. And Peg, you were talking about the chanting that you have been doing. So all those chants, that it's important things. So when you do that, you're going to attune, operate at a higher vibrational level. And that means less things happen to you. Less bad things happen to you. When you're at a higher vibration, less bad things can come in. When you're operating at a lower vibration, bad things are more likely to come in. Okay, sound has sort of an ordering effect on the physical body and on consciousness. Uh, did you know that your mind is actually your auric field? Your auric field is technically what we would call mind. The brain is operating your physical body, but your mind, which is stored memories, energy out in your auric field, is operating your spiritual body. And that technically is the mind. Okay. Consciousness, spirituality, and that all affects your physical world. If you want to check this with your own eyes, if you put some sand on a taut, something that's taut, like a drum or something, and start tapping it and keeping a steady rhythm, that sand will make a pattern. So as I was telling Amy, I'm much more conscious right now of keeping my space sort of orderly, simply because of the fact that every time you change an object and you're just talking, the sound in the room vibrates differently. So the colors you have around you, how you have it arranged, uh, if it stays similar all the time, then you're getting the same feedback in terms of frequency. That's important. It's not just so when someone comes in, they think, "Oh my goodness, you keep a wonderful house." But it is when it's like that, you're keeping a wonderful frequency environment in which to live. The vibrational tone is becoming more and more constant. Let's see, is there anything else? I've got something here. Let's see. So the mantras and affirmations and chants, all of those things help produce a vibration. So I think we gave you some of the activities, but there are a lot of different kinds of ones. I was reading an interesting book way over my head by a woman by the name of Barbara Britton, and she says she says what she meditates to is, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Now think of that. What? And she says that leads her off into outer space. And so I've been trying that one. I find it really interesting what happens. But don't forget, meditation is a big part. It will make you much more calmer, and as-ising just sort of comes naturally when you get into that state. Amy, back at you.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this really short. I'm aware of time, you all. We're just a couple of minutes over and we're almost finished. So just stay with us. Just to reiterate what I was kind of speaking to before, and Granny J also kind of referenced that we're going up the chakra, we're going up the ladder. And so we are increasing our vibration as we go up. And so maintaining and continuing to grow that frequency and stay with that high vibe is going to support our continued growth. And this isn't just about us. This is the healing of the world, is what we're talking about. Because as we increase our frequency, and even if we can maintain it and not fall, because right now the vibe in the world, you all know, is low. We are at a low frequency. And so when we talk about liberation and creating a new world, a new earth, what we're talking about is doing that through this like frequency. Um, and so whatever you can do to clear your blockages, take care of yourself, rest, all the things so that you can maintain, just know that it's not just for you, of course. This is the work that all the healers have done, is that they are this presence in the world and pick up. It's the book of joy, Mary and Grady J, that you all are working on. It's that be the light in the world. And so I think we all need that little reminder, inspiration. Yeah.
It's the difference between walking down the path and seeing trees and birds and flowers, and flowing and walking down the path and flowing into them and being one with them. That's the difference we're talking about. It isn't just saying this is so and such, but it's flowing in and becoming one with them.
Beautiful. This is big stuff for big times. I'm aware of all that we're holding, all that we're presence to, and like, wow, what beautiful opportunities to practice. You know, we have been prepared for this. It's what
Yeah.
I know. And here we are together. And so we're literally, our bodies, our spirit, we are designed for these times. And I know that. Um, yeah, so here we are. We're out of time. Anybody have just a little bit of space here? Any thoughts, any questions before we close? And Grady J, you don't know this, but I do have a little something I'm going to share at the end.
Great.
Surprise!
I love surprises.
Yeah. Anything you all?
I have a question, and it doesn't have to be answered, but if I can just be pointed maybe in the right direction. I was just thinking about, with the spiritual connection to nature with our American Indians, Native Americans in this country, and the sound and the chanting and the drums together. Has that been discussed in kind of a like the scientific way that we're discussing this chakra tonight?
Not that I know of, but Amy's saying she's been playing her Indian flutes a lot. I've brought my Indian flutes along with me. Um, no, we have a good friend, Tina, who's a full-blood Cherokee Indian. And when you walk with her in nature, it's an entirely different kind
Mhm.
of walk.
Yeah. I was
Uh,
thinking more about like, when I've been present in drumming circles, you just, there's just so much that you feel. And then you add to that, jingle, jingle skirts. Tammy, I saw something the other day about that happening up in Minnesota. I can't remember, Ojibwa, maybe. I can't remember
Yeah.
um, the tribes, but just the sound and the vibrations of all this together that that's
It's so beautiful. These are not humans have known this from the beginning of time. And the
yeah,
indigenous have
nothing
continued
new.
and maintained the culture.
lost it,
We've just lost
lost
it and forgotten it. It's all of it. It's like hidden in plain sight. It's been right here, drumming in circles and yeah. So yep, you're right on, Carla. Yep.
If anybody sees anything, I'd love to, I'd love to see, if you
You
run
should.
across anything.
Well, I will say, Granny J, one of the things that she gifted me years ago was a Native American flute, and you can just simply, and
Mhm.
and yeah, so I would say find something and play it yourself, like a
Yeah.
drum. Seriously, you would love it, Carla.
Butchall, get a butchall. They're cheap and good.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else, you all, before I do my little closing share? Okay.
Or experience sound this month, every way you can.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll send out, as always, a little harvest, a recording. I'll send out a link to that interview. I think I told you I was going to do that last time and didn't. It was Sue Morter and Eileen McCusick. The frequency chart that I referenced. And just please, everybody, continue to share what you discover. We'll see you in March. In the meantime, I'm going to share this beautiful prayer poem, little piece written by Howard Thurman on the sound of the genuine, because I do think it's so relevant. I know many of us are familiar with this piece. Um, Wait, who said that you watched the interview? Oh, Carla. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. So
good
this
to
is
be with you.
mm,
Really good.
mm. So this is The Sound of the Genuine. It's by mystic and theologian Howard Thurman. He writes, "There is in every person something that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in herself. There is in you something that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. Nobody like you has been born, and no one like you will ever be born again. You are the only one. And if you miss the sound of the genuine in you, you will be a cripple all the rest of your life because you will never be able to get a scent on who you are." He writes, "Do you remember in the book, the Christian Bible, Jesus and his disciples were going through the hills, and there appeared in the turn of the road a man who was possessed of demons, as they thought. In the full moon, when the great tidal waves of energy swept through his organism, and he became as 10 men, screaming through the hills like an animal in pain. And then he met Jesus on the road, and Jesus asked him one question: 'Who are you? What's your name?' And for a moment, his tilted mind righted itself, and he said, 'That's it. I don't know. There are legions of me, and they riot in my streets. If I only knew, then I would be whole.' So the burden of what I have to say to you is, what is your name? Who are you? And can you find a way to hear the sound of the genuine inside of you? So many echoes of all sorts, so many internalizing of the rumble and the traffic, the confusions, the disorders by which your environment is peopled, that I wonder if you can get still enough, not quiet enough, but still enough to hear rumbling up from your unique and essential idiom, the sound of the genuine in you. I don't know if you can, but this is your assignment." Wow! Mary Beth, I loved your face just then. Oh man, Mary Beth, I think I would love if you share one of your readings of your poems with us, actually. I've been thinking about that. Yeah. All right, everybody. Much love. Take
Have a
good
wonderful
care.
month. See you
Yeah.
in March.